let's wait for the attendees.
Oh, we got one attendee.
Oh,
People are coming. Hey,
hey guys, welcome. Ilya.
Brooke, hi, nice to meet you guys. Hi.
Hey. People are slowly joining, so let's give them like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes till we officially start, so let's just wait a bit.
Let's maybe chat. Okay, cool. A lot of people are coming. Okay, so guys, where did you join from? The chat is open. Don't be shy.
Yeah, feel free to tell us where you're watching us from. We'd like to know.
Oh, we have to allow them to talk.
Oh, okay. I guess you can. Oh, that's...
Oops.
Sorry, that's not what we want to do. And Naveed's from Pakistan. Hey, Naveed, nice to meet you. I'm actually from Pakistan myself. My name is Zan. Good to know that we have some fellow Pakistanis in the chat.
Cool, cool. The rest of you are a little shy, I guess.
Pretty quiet, yeah. We're just asking your country, nothing else. It's okay.
I'm gonna find you.
Mm-hmm. Ilya's asking, will we have a recording after the webinar?
Yeah. Like, if you have to leave early, you'll get the recording sent to you. No worries about that. We're planning to have it like an hour, so the presentations will take like, I don't know,
20 minutes, 25 minutes,
yeah,
approximately.
And then we'll have like a Q&A.
So yeah, don't worry, if you're attending, we'll send it to you guys.
How have you been since Berlin, Ilya? It's nice seeing you there. Okay, people are still coming.
We got 3 minutes and then we'll start.
Yeah, maybe we can give them like 2-3 more minutes.
Some final people.
Yeah. I remember Naveed. All right, the rest of you guys. Where do you?
No one else wants to
tell where they live. We're not gonna find you.
Maybe if you're more comfortable towards the end, you can tell us.
So we can wait 2 more minutes.
Yeah, some people are still joining, I see. So
how was your day, Zach?
Yeah, pretty good.
Cool.
It was a nice day. What about you?
Yeah, I was waiting for the webinar all day.
Yeah,
so.
It had me excited as well.
Okay, let's wait 4 more minutes. Hope it's okay with you guys if we wait an extra 2 minutes.
Feel free to go to the bathroom so you don't have to go during the webinar. You still have 2 minutes. Grab something to eat if you want. We have 2 minutes. Okay, a couple more people just joined. For those of you just joining us, we're just waiting. We're giving a couple more minutes to people to join the webinar because we officially start at 6, so we've got like one more minute.
Right, so maybe some of you guys can write like your expectations for the webinar. Like, what do you expect to learn today? Hey Vadim, how are you? Welcome. Yeah.
All right. I think we can start.
Yeah, Yeah. We'll actually we'll allocate most of the time to a Q&A. The presentation will take like 20 minutes, and then we'll have like 35 minutes, 40 minutes Q&A
session, yeah.
But let's start like 7:02, because still people are coming.
Just give it another minute or two.
Yeah.
A couple more people just joined. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. So,
we're just setting up, getting ready. Yep, Lorenzo, everyone will be sent a recording after the webinar finishes. So don't worry about that in case you have to leave early or anything. Don't worry, we'll send you a recording.
Yeah.
Like to learn
And Brooke, the main idea is to help you find keywords that you can rank in the top 10, which means in return will increase your rankings and downloads. Because if your app is visible, you'll reach out more people. So getting the right keyword set to represent your app is actually one of the best ways to increase downloads. Cool. Hope this webinar will be informative to you guys. So just one more minute, just bear with us, and then we can get started.
Yeah, because people, they keep joining, so we just want to make sure everyone's here before we get started.
Yeah, and the guys on the west side, it's too early for them.
Probably just waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give them time to wash their faces. Oh, a lot of familiar faces here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. So, I know you like our faces, but during the presentation, we'll have to close the video.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So you'll have to come to another webinar for that.
You'll see us at the end, maybe. Okay.
Feeling like it. Yeah, let's get started.
I think we can start. I think we waited enough. So let us just share our screen.
All right, for latecomers, let's just announce it one more time. We're recording this webinar, so you'll get a recording. Hey, Alicia, how are you? So yeah, if you get if you have to leave early, you'll get the recording, and it will the presentation will take like 20 minutes, and after that we'll have a Q&A session.
All right, so let us just share our screen here with you guys. Okay, so this webinar, as you guys have all signed up for, you're aware that it's basically on how to find keywords for your app in order to rank in the top 10 results. So just a brief overview of the following webinar, like what's on the agenda for today. So I'll start by introducing what ASO is, because it's a really basic webinar. We're going to start from scratch, and we're going to get into more details in future webinars, so just bear with us. So ASO is similar to search engine optimization. You could say it's search engine optimization for the App Store and the Play Store. It's basically increasing the visibility of your app, and so people can find it much more easier when they're searching for it. And what Mobile Action does, we are an ASO platform, and we have a bunch of tools, and we provide different metrics and insights for your apps, and you can use these tools to increase the visibility of your app on the Play Store and App Store. So my name is Zan, as we introduced earlier, but we have people still joining us, so I'll just do a quick introduction again. And this is my friend Sue. He's with me. We're both on content creation, and we deal with basically business development and stuff. So like Sue mentioned, approximately we're hoping for an hour for the webinar to last, and the majority of that time is going to be dedicated to questions and answers. So you guys should be taking notes as we speak. You can either write your questions in the chat right now, or if you feel that your questions may be answered during the webinar, you can leave them for later. If you need to leave early, we've also mentioned that we will be recording this, and we will be sending all of you videos of the webinar. So that's not an issue. Don't worry about that. And most importantly, what we want is you guys to just enjoy, have a nice time, have a good experience. And we hope that we can be informative, and this could be, you can have something to take away from this webinar at the end of the day. So moving on. Why are organic keywords important? So organic keywords, as the name suggests, something that's organic basically means that you don't have to really do much. It's natural. You don't have to put something into it. For example, money, finances. So organic keywords are keywords that you don't pay for, and what they lead to are organic downloads, which are also, you can say, free downloads. There's no money involved. So that's a major point for why they're important. Also, organic keywords, they bring in high quality users. For example, if a user is looking for a sports app or something and you have a keyword related to sports, they will be looking for that specific app. That's what they want. And once they find it, they will be much more likely to stay for a long term, and they will be much more likely to spend money on your app compared to some low end, high volumes of traffic that just stumbled on your app accidentally. So that's another key important point. Organic keywords also provide a solid foundation for other promotion activities. What this means is once you've got a good list of organic keywords and you've increased the visibility of your app, other promotional activities such as paid campaigns, they will have a much greater impact on your app because you already have an audience to target those campaigns to. Some statistics for you guys. If you already know, 65% of all apps are actually found through the App Store search. That's a huge volume, so you do not want to be missing out on that that opportunity. So this is why you should be ranking for the proper keywords and increasing the visibility of your app in the App Store and the Google Play Store. On a more sad note, only 28% of apps actually ever get downloaded. So if you want to be part of that small percentage of I mean, it's not small considering how many apps there are, but still, relatively speaking, 28% isn't that high. So if you want to be part of that 28%, the apps that ever get downloaded, you should have a strong keyword list and you should be ranking for the correct keywords. And basically, that's the whole purpose of what this webinar is. We're gonna break it down for you. We're gonna explain to you how to choose keywords, how to choose the proper ones, how to make sure that you're appearing on the top 10 results for whether it be the App Store or the Play Store. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. So moving on.
Yeah, so thank you, Zan, for the good introduction. So this is like the main topic, it's the main dish of today. So how do you find these keywords? Probably to most of you, these will seem pretty familiar, but maybe there are some nuances that you don't know, or just you're very new to ASO. So one of the best ways to find good keywords is you first have to start from brainstorming. So this involves a lot of different practices. You can, first of all, you just write down every single keyword that you think is related to your app, and then you can just look at a thesaurus to find new, synonyms, and then just ask your colleagues, your friends. I know it's not very scalable, but still you can generate so many keyword ideas. And during this process, don't be picky. Don't think that, okay, this keyword isn't that good. Just write down everything, because after that, during the picking stage, we will actually show you how you can choose between a good keyword and a bad keyword. So we have a couple of metrics about that, and that's coming up next. And then in terms of like web research is a very wide, set of practices. It's basically you can go to forums related to your niche and see like how people use the language, what type of words they use to describe what they need. So this can give you some good ideas. Also write these down. Check what your competitors are doing. If they have a web app, check their like pages, check blogs. You have a lot of stuff to do here. And then out of these 4 ways we're going to mention, competitor analysis is actually the easiest way to find the best keywords possible. So I'm going to show how you do this part. But basically, with tools like Mobile Action, there's a lot of good ASO tools out there also. You can see which keywords an app is ranking for, basically. You can see which keywords they use. So you can just find out what works out for other people or what doesn't work out for other people, and then maybe quickly decide on what you're going to do or what you're not going to do, which keywords you're going to pick. And then finally, review mining. So we actually have a post about this, a blog post. I'll send you guys every attendant link of it. So the process of review mining, first, you can check every single review of an app has on the mobile action dashboard. Again, I'm going to show you all of this to you. But also you can see, similar to the web research part, you can see what type of phrases, how do they use the language, and also like on our review analysis section, you're able to see which keywords are repeated the most, in an app's review. So you can know what type of phrases are popular, what are unpopular, and this can help you to find some better keywords as well. So again, what makes a good keyword? So first of all, the most important thing is the download intent or relevancy. So a keyword has to be relevant to your app, because if the user who finds your app through a keyword isn't looking for an app like yours, they're not going to download it. It's just an irrelevant result for them. So over all of the different metrics here, download intent is the most important one. But this doesn't mean that the rest are unimportant as well. The second important thing we think is the ease of ranking, or as the way we call it, the chance score. So this tells you, it's a metric on our keyword tab. It shows you how likely is basically any app that is active in the market to rank in the top 10 results. Because top 10 results is the most visible spot. There's this infinite scroll thing going on with the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, but still when someone opens up the App Store and searches for a keyword, they can see the top 5, the top 10 apps without any scrolling. So these apps usually convert the most, unless the person is looking for something very specific. So your goal is to rank for relevant keywords, and you also want to target keywords that are easy to rank for. But then we have a third metric here, which is the search popularity, or as we call it, the search score. So this tells you how much traffic this keyword is getting. It's a score from 0 to 100, so it tells you how popular a keyword is. Basically, if a keyword is searched by a lot of people, you're more likely to get more downloads. But the important thing here is you have to be in the top 10, and it has to be relevant. And when you think it the other way around, let's say you found a keyword that has a very high relevancy, it's very easy to rank, but has no traffic score. So that is actually a very bad keyword, because it doesn't matter if you're in the top 10, if no one searches for that keyword, you'll just hang out in the top 10 without converting any users. So when you search for new keywords, how do you know, other than these, how do you pick these keywords? Because I said you're going to do brainstorming, you're going to do web research, you're going to check their descriptions, their reviews, which keywords they rank. So how are you going to make these decisions? What type of process should you follow? So I actually did this on one of our Udemy courses, but let me just walk you through this on the mobile action dashboard. It's a very easy way to find good keywords, to pick them out. So I usually do games in my demos, but this time let's go for something different. Skyscanner should be a good example. They're a big app in their niche. So first we add the app here, we track them, and then let's assume that we own Skyscanner and we want to do some brainstorming. So here, we can add, cheap flights. Let's add a couple of keywords. Travel deals, hotels, a couple of competitor names. And then let's just add them to the list. So quick refresh. So now we have a list of a couple of keywords. So what we do is, first, all of these have very good search score. That's pretty good for us. And then the chance score is pretty decent as well. And as these are keywords I picked from the app title and subtitle, obviously these are going to be relevant. So how do you expand this list? Okay, I can import my brainstorming list. I don't have right now, but let's go over some of your competitors. So the next step is to track a couple of competitors for our app. So we'll get some suggestions here, but you know, booking.com, just add them here, and then TripAdvisor, Kayak. So when we have these as our competitors, we can see what type of keywords they do. And then let's say I have some specific keywords I want to work on. So we forgot to mention this, but long-tail keywords play a very important role during ASO. But it's very different than SEO, because when you search on Google, you search for a sentence, what is something, blah, blah, blah. But on the mobile users usually just search in 3, 4, maybe 2 words. So let's add like hotel. So these are, here we have the search suggestions. These are like combination words. You can get like autofill suggestions you can get on a mobile phone. You can see a bit more here. And then, you know, these are ordered based on their importance. So these are probably the strongest keywords you can find. So you can check who is ranking for this keyword, what is the search score, is it easy to rank? So you can also eliminate some of the keywords this way. But, you know, when coming back to the competitor analysis part, you just have to check which keywords your competitors rank for. It's very simple. Like if they have keywords in the top 10, the top 5, the top 1, you can see them here. Like we can see, okay, they have 41 keywords in the top 1, almost 200 keywords in the top 5. So this is a huge number. So it will give us quite a good, you know, base of keywords to work on. So then we can track them. And finally, I'm going to show you how I pick my keywords. So here, let's go like top 5. Let's just track them all. It's almost 200 keywords. Should be enough for us. So when we track these, let's go back here. So what we have is we have all of these keywords added here. But remember what made a good keyword. First, you know, it has to be relevant. So right now, we'll leave the relevancy part to the end. First, we want to eliminate keywords that have, let's say, a very low search score. So in our terms, you don't want to work with anything that has a search score below 20, for example. So let's just order them based on our search score. Okay, these ones. So I will normally just delete these because these won't work out at all. Maybe I can keep short tail ones in case they will produce a good combination with another word. And then we can look at the lowest chance score keywords. Okay, so most of the keywords have a pretty decent chance. So, okay, I'll look at these. Let's just order them based on the chance, so the highest ones. Now, the next step is to issue them based on their relevancy. So, you know, I can issue a color. Let's say purple is the most relevant. And then, I don't know, blue is the second most important, yellow is, or light blue is the third. So I can issue these like this and order them based on my customized color. So I will see the most relevant ones, the secondary keywords, the third keywords, and then I can delete the ones, you know, these ones. I would normally have these deleted. And then I will have a much, much smaller keyword pool. And, you know, at this stage, it's time to decide which keyword you want to go for. So first, look at your own app, find like keywords like this, with a very low search score, or a keyword with a very low chance score. And then you can start working on how you can replace these. So here, we have like, how do you know you picked the right keyword? So we picked some keywords. Now it's time to do some testing. So we edit our metadata. We can change like our keyword spot. We can change our keyword title, subtitle. Important tips here are, most ASO people give up really fast. I get emails like, I tried this and I lost my rankings. I say, when did you start? He said like 2 days ago, yesterday, a week ago. So patience is really important. What we suggest based on our experience is to test at least 2 to 4 weeks, with the sweet spot being 3 weeks, to see how the keyword will settle down. Because first, you know, you'll get a boost, your rankings will increase exponentially maybe, and then it will settle down. You have to keep track and see how the trend will play out. Like if you're constantly using rankings, probably you're not going to do well on that keyword in the long run. So another suggestion here I have is don't change too many keywords at the same time. Change like a couple, maybe 2-3 keywords, because if you have 2 keywords and you have, I don't know, 40 keywords already you're ranking for, you'll also rank for the new combinations of these newly added keywords. And if you change too many stuff at the same time, it's going to be really difficult to understand which keyword brought you the highest value. It will be very difficult to monitor your changes, which is the second spot of understanding how you have picked the right keyword. So you started your testing, just keep on, just check daily how your rankings change. You can actually create alerts on mobile action. Let's say you added a couple of new keywords, you pushed an update. Just set up alerts to see how your ranking changes over time, so that you know that you're doing something right. And then maybe you can also, at the final spot, you can report how your changes were. Like you can pull out your keyword ranking history, see how it changed. Like you tested, let's say 3 weeks, you can see the ups and downs, and you can understand the trends to see if this keyword will be helpful in the long run or not. So in terms of like picking keywords, testing them, monitoring them, this all constitutes the keyword optimization cycle, which I think Zain wants to talk about.
So yeah, thank you, Sue. So to put in simple terms and sort of just give you guys a summary of what we've talked about, what you want to do is you start with coming up with a set of keywords through the different techniques that Sue mentioned: brainstorming, review mining, whether it be web results or competitor analysis. Once you've got a good set of keywords, you're going to choose which ones you think are the best, the most relevant, the ones with a good chance score and search score, to just narrow down your total list of keywords that you want to rank for. After you feel like you've got a good list and you're happy with it, you're satisfied with the amount of keywords you have, you're going to start testing those keywords. You're going to, as Sue said, 2 weeks is the bare minimum you should test them, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get more accurate results. You have to constantly keep testing the performance of each of those keywords to make sure that they're performing up to your standards or what you expected from them. But after the testing, testing stage is done, the cycle doesn't end there. Hence the word cycle. It just keeps repeating and repeating. So let's say, for example, you had 3 keywords that you came up with and you tested, and out of those 3, only 2 performed up to your standards, and the third one wasn't really up to your standards, so you want to remove it basically. Then you're going to go back to stage 1. You're going to come up with new keywords to add to your list. Once you have better keywords, you'll narrow it down to choose the most appropriate ones and then test them and repeat and so on. And what this will do is it'll give you a really refined and really high quality pool of keywords at the end, because you'll just keep testing, removing the ones that aren't performing, adding the ones that you think are performing, and it will overall just increase the quality of your keywords as time goes on. It might take a couple months before you see like huge increases in your downloads and stuff, but the changes and the results that you see are pretty drastic once you have that solid set of keywords. So I believe that's it for the keyword optimization cycle and the presentation section of our webinar. We're gonna start the Q&A section now, and we're gonna try to get to each and every one of you, but if there's a lot of questions and we don't have time, please don't be upset. You can always email us your questions afterwards. So let's start the questions. Okay, Alicia says, I'm sorry to put this question in the chat, but I haven't used Zoom before. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, so no worries about that. We muted every attendant already, so no worries about that.
No one could hear you, don't worry.
So let's show our screen, but it doesn't allow us to check the questions. Okay, so Vadim has a quite long question. Okay, I got a question. Your system counts only mobile traffic, right? Okay, so. All right, so with countries that have Apple search ads active in them for the Apple App Store, everyone basically shows the same data that is scrolled from Apple search ads. But in different countries, in Android or in countries where Apple Search Ads isn't active, such as Russia, everyone has their own metric. So we have a couple of different ways, we can crawl this data. We look at, mobile trends, look at web research as well. And then so we try to find this data as much as possible, but everyone's data will be quite different, but I don't think there should be like a huge difference. Maybe it's like 10 here, it's 15 there, but it shouldn't be like 0 versus 80 or something like that.
So Alicia asked if we could show you how we got to the screen with the bar graphs showing how many keywords a competitor has rankings. So yeah, we could.
Yeah,
it's basically the ASO report section of our dashboard. You can
find it here, and then this will tell you for how many keywords an app is ranking. We actually have a lot of different features here because this ASO report was something we designed to be the ultimate ASO tool. With this, you actually don't even need to track keywords. You can just look at the keywords, you can export them, and also you can see how your historical rankings move. You can just create custom reports about these, so you can access it from here. And Oliver G has a question.
What metric?
So if you want to assess the performance, the strongest metric you have is the keyword rankings. Because most of the time, these are directly related to the downloads you get or the download velocity on this keyword. I mean, there are other factors, but the most important one are the downloads. So if your ranking is climbing up for a keyword constantly, that means you're doing something right. So that means that keyword is performing well. You might have some small drops and you can have some small, ups and downs, but in the long run, if your graph is going higher, it means that keyword is working out.
Okay. Vadim said, what do you think about long-tailed keywords? I created tons of combinations with short keywords. However, I wasn't ranking for some of the word combinations, so I have to add long-tail keywords. I'm talking about the app.
All right, so you mean you added them as seed keywords, but you weren't ranking for the combinations, right? So in that case, maybe you did the double localization trick that was available on the Apple App Store. Every country ranks for English keywords, English Australian keywords. So if you put keywords in that section, you automatically rank for them. But there's a twist. If you have, let's say, cheap in your Australian localization, hotels in your normal localization, you won't rank for cheap hotels. You will just rank for hotels and cheap separately. Maybe it was related to that. Maybe you didn't get too many conversions from them. Maybe the long tail keywords were, they didn't have a high search score or chance score. What I'm curious is when you add them separately as long tail keywords, did you start ranking for them? That's maybe that can tell us more. Okay, Oliver. I think like we responded to that question before, but it means like if your ranking is increasing, it means you're getting a downloads basically. So you can just rely on keyword rankings.
Okay, Tim's asking under Keyword Explorer, how do you add search suggestions to keyword lists? Okay, we can show him that.
Yeah, let's share the screen first.
Share a screen for a sec.
What you do is, so you go to the Keyword Explorer, or you can see it on the keyword tracking as well. So you can just click on this keyword, and then it just gets added to your keyword tracking page. Or you can go to keyword research. Here you have these search suggestions here as well, like Skyscanner. We have 5 keyword suggestions. We can just track them all here. It's easy, it's done. So let's continue with the other questions.
Okay, so next is Ben. If I add a keyword to my subtitle in comparison to adding a keyword to the app name, does it improve my chance to rank higher for a specific keyword if I add it to my app name? So
yeah, actually, the place where you put your keywords is very important. So the keywords in your app title are like your brand name. So you'll rank they will have the highest ranking factor. And we believe that the second most important one is the subtitle and then the keyword spot. So if you have some very important keywords that you're really interested in, just put them in your app title next to your brand name maybe, because you have 30 characters limit. That is probably your most precious resource when doing ASO. So the 30 characters in your app title, the 30 characters in your subtitle, these are extremely important and they will help you to rank higher for your target keywords.
Natalie says in the keyword section, is it better to write short keywords or the long ones? She's talking about the app stores.
I can take this. So in the Apple App Store, the algorithm actually ranks you for different combinations of keywords. So if you have meet, comma, up, then you will also rank for meetup. So when you're doing when you're picking keywords or putting these keywords in your keyword spot, your app title, your subtitle, you should put them as separate words so that you'll rank for the different combinations, because you have a very limited resources. You can in total input 160 characters. So you don't want to, you don't want to spend these on some long-tail keyword idea, long-tail keywords that you can normally just target with separate words. Okay, so Vadim said, okay, so you didn't rank even though you put them separately. So it probably, maybe you should keep track of them a bit more. Maybe you remove them really quick, or just the keywords didn't work out. For Google Play, Google Play is a different story. You rank for the keywords in your description. So it's always good to have the phrases repeated a couple of times in your app description. It's very similar to how SEO works, how you structure a content, but a trap that most ASO people fall into is they just try to please the algorithm. But also the description also plays a role in your conversion rates, which is off topic right now, but it's also very important. So you have to find a balance between the algorithm and the users.
Jack said, what actions can be done to improve the ranking of keywords?
So if you're, do you want to take this? Okay, so if you're like focusing on a certain keyword, let's say you're already ranking for it, let's say it's in your keyword spot, you can just change where you put this keyword. If it's in your keyword spot, put it in your subtitle. If it's in your subtitle, put it in your app title. Or, in the Apple App Store, if you have the budget, just run Apple Search Ads. That's like easy answer.
Search was low for a given keyword and you rank high in the market as the other.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're not ranking high, you won't get any downloads anyways. So the ideal, in an ideal universe, you want to have
a balance.
Both, yeah, a balance.
You need a good balance.
But
because if you have, let's say, you're saying if the search score is low, but you're ranking, let's say, even the #1 spot, how many people are searching for that keyword? Maybe 1 or 2. So it won't really increase your downloads, and vice versa. In the other situation that you mentioned, if there's a high search score, yet you have a lower ranking for it, again, you're not appearing in the top 10 results. You might be on the second and third page. So your app visibility is, again, low. So what you want is a good balance between the search score and the chance score, and the most important, as we mentioned, the download relevance.
Okay, Alicia asked, under keyword research, what are the search suggestions based on? So first, it's based on the keyword you input. So sharing, like, let's say, I don't know, let's go to games back, let's say tower. So this will give us long tail keywords that have the seed tower inside of them. And this data is crawled from Apple. And like it's the most popular search terms related to tower. So you can see them here. and then there's a lot of results. So it's based on what you input. Vadim asked, do you guys notice any impact if you use keywords in an in-app purchase? So when initially iOS 11 launched, we were quite excited about it. Like, okay, there's an additional way you can rank for new keywords, but it turns out it didn't make too much of a noticeable change. Occasionally, if you search for the exact match of the in-app purchase, then you appear, but it doesn't work like the normal way. Like if you have something bundled, if a person doesn't search for specifically for that, they usually don't show up the in-app purchases.
Okay. Will search ads help keyword ranking? James asks.
So we have actually contradicting findings with this. At some point, you were getting rankings when you got a download from Apple Search Ads. So we were very excited about it. So we're thinking, okay, Apple Search Ads is considered as organic installs. But then lately we have noticed that you only get like a temporary double visibility. So if you appear as an impression, you also appear in the top 10 of the search results. So if the person scroll down your app, they'll see it in the top 10, but getting a download from it doesn't, have a long-term effect on your rankings. But, we're still testing it. Apple, has a lot of bugs. They had this algorithm change 2 weeks ago, so maybe something will change. I don't know. And Camila is asking a question. Let's see.
For example, people can rank for. Yeah, that's basically what Sue said. That's exactly how it works. If you put commas between small tail keywords, you will be ranking for the different combinations of them in the App Store. Okay, Lucas.
I started to do ASO for Google Play, and I learned that I was doing everything wrong. So at the same time, I changed the title, subtitle, and description for a total new ones. I put up a top keyword in the title, subtitle, and five times in description. Okay, so by the subtitle, I mean for Google Play, you mean the short description. We did a test about this, and actually the short description doesn't have a huge impact on your rankings. Because, if you have it in your short description, it's good, but just repeating it inside your short description isn't that good. You have to have it in your app description, and maybe, when you picked up these keywords, maybe you didn't pay too much attention to the different combinations. Maybe they didn't have too high search scores. Maybe the chance was low. Maybe they were too competitive. Probably, you should start revisiting what you did, but don't change them all at the same time. Just start with your app title, then move on to the description, and don't be afraid to experiment. Just try a couple of keywords, look at them for a couple of weeks, see how it plays out.
Not all at once, though, so you can analyze each change separately.
So Jacek is asking, do you have any tips how often keywords should be repeated in the description? There's no a general consensus on it, but usually you want to have them at least 5-6 times, depending on how long your description is. Like a good keyword density in terms of in Google's eyes is around 1%.
Marcio asks, it's a good idea to repeat some of the keywords in your title to fill in your keyword space. No, that is not a good idea. Actually, you want to try to use different keywords that are ranking high. Repeating the same keyword in your title and subtitle and in your keyword space would just be a waste of the space that you've been provided with. So try to use different ones, some combinations and stuff, and test them out, see how they work. Yeah,
and we tested this before, and it turned out that you shouldn't repeat them. Sometimes you even lose your rankings, but the algorithms change. So with one of the other users, we're actually doing a test, and this Friday we repeated a couple of keywords in the app title, the subtitle, and the keyword spot. So we'll see the results. Does it still maybe if like they were already ranking for this keyword, so if their rankings drop, it means you should never repeat the keywords. If it's stable, it means, okay, it doesn't matter too much. But if it increases, then everything we know was wrong. I have so Naveed says, okay, his answer is open to everyone. Okay, so he thinks, okay, for App Store it's accurate, for Google Play. Yeah, I think like in most countries, I think our Google Play score should be pretty on point, especially the chance score. This doesn't depend on our data size. It just looks at how well the apps are in the top 10 are performing. So like maybe you can shoot an email to me. I think you have my email. You can discuss like how did you come again, like how did you find out this. So I'll help you to clear out your doubts.
Yep. Tell us which keywords exactly.
So for Lorenzo's question, a good question I saw on Quora was about German words. So German words are usually like there's like two words inside of them, but they're conjoined to form a single word. Let's say, I don't know, Krankenhaus, it means like hospital, but it means sick house. But if you put them separately, you won't rank for the combination. For Asian keywords, if you put like the symbol only, it actually is a quite good advantage. You will also rank for that, but it won't like generate different kanjis for Japanese, for example. If you add like different two words, it won't show you the combination of those as a different word. The Apple algorithm, does these matchings, but it's not that complex.
So Tim asks, can you use two filters for keywords at the same time? Example, search score is more than 30 and chance score is more than 70 simultaneously.
So not directly, but you can group your keywords like with different colors, like in them blue. Oh, okay. So you can do them blue. That would mean that that keyword has a high search score, so you can order based on that. And actually, we heard this a lot, and I think it's quite convenient to use two filters at the same time. I think it should be on our development stack, but I don't want to make any. I don't want to give any like specific dates.
So yeah, just keep your fingers crossed. Okay, should I put words with special characters for the language or without? It's known that it's easier to type, for example, in Glowkey than in Glowkey in mobile action. I see different results for both.
So if you're like localized in that language, you should use like the original languages, like the O with the dots for German or Turkish, or the keyword you input. If your app is localized and you're reaching out for the local people, just use the characters for that. Okay, what do you think of incentive? So we don't like Black Hat ASO, and actually incentivized traffic. It's a good, on paper it's like a good short-term solution, but in the long run, usually people get banned, or I don't know how big titles get away with it, but most of the time your app just gets suspended because of it, because it's very easy to understand. Like the category rankings are actually right now mainly affected by download velocity. So if your downloads are constantly increasing, or if it's on a constant level, you can rank high. But if there's like a sudden spike, you'll lose that ranking. Whoever asks. So if you're divided between a good search score and a good ranking difficulty, always prioritize the ranking, because you have to be in the top 10, but just make sure that the search score isn't too low, basically.
Something above, I guess, 25 or maybe 30 would be a good search score.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Brooke asks,
how many keywords are you With each release, we would recommend, I guess, 2 to 3 keywords should be changed, not more than that, but that's like the bare minimum that you should be changing.
Yeah, because you will also, like, when you change 2 or 3 keywords, you will change the combinations. So you have to track the combinations as well. So you shouldn't go to all in with this. Just scroll.
Alicia wants us to show how you click through to get to section.
Oh, Natalie's leaving. Bye-bye.
Oh,
thank you
Natalie,
for joining.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
You'll get the recording anyways.
If you have any questions you would have liked to ask, you can always email us. So Alicia wants us to show you guys how you click through to get to the section where you can see your competitors' keywords for doing competitor research.
It's basically under ASO Premium, the ASO report. So you can see it here. If you don't have access to it, you know, we're not sharing. Let's share this.
Let's just share a screen and we'll show you real quick.
So you can access this here. So if you don't have access to it, just reach out to me. I'll help you out with it on this part. It's here under the ASO intelligence. Let's get back to the other questions. Okay, a lot of people have good questions. It's good to see.
For the App Store, if 2 apps that are competitors have the same or almost the same keywords in the title, subtitle, and keyword field, what determines which one ranks higher? In other words, how does a small business rank against a big business?
Okay, so that depends on, first, the category rankings, the average review and ratings of the app. So let's assume they have exactly the same keyword set, but one app has an average rating of 4.5, whereas the other one has an average rating of, I don't know, 2.5. So the 4.5 one will rank higher. And in terms of competing with bigger businesses, you should, like, even if, like, your competitor is in ranking number 1 and you're in the top 5, if people just don't download the first app, you have a chance to get some of that traffic. And in the long run, you can, you know, transform that into some useful rankings.
Makoto is asking, yeah.
Yeah, we'll send you a
recording of this, don't worry. You can listen to it on your own time from wherever you want to start from, so that's completely fine.
Okay, Vadim wants to make friends. Yeah, it's a good idea, you know.
Sure, Vadim. We will add you after this webinar.
And, like, anyone else wants to make connections, you can use this chat as well.
Drop your LinkedIn, you guys can add each other. You're welcome, Sharik. I'm glad you found it useful.
Okay, Oliver is asking, is the search score linear? Is the popular difference between a keyword with a search score of 109 the same? No. So the search score is actually exponential. So let's say a search score of 20 and the 40 actually doesn't mean it's like twice the traffic. It's around like 10, and then it goes like 15 times, 20 times. So actually that's why having a high search score is important. So it just increases exponentially.
Does Google look for keywords inside reviews and answers for review?
It looks at the reviews, that's for sure, but I'm not sure about the answers for the reviews.
Are chance scores the same for all apps for a single term, or is it scaled based on the app size or number of reviews? It's actually the same for all apps based on a single term. It's not scaled on what the app size or the number of reviews.
Yeah, it's like a generic score.
Yeah.
All right, so
I think, wait, there was a Q&A section. Maybe we have some questions in there. Yeah.
Okay, we answered this one. Okay, Sophie asked, how would you recommend to optimize Google Play since Google indexed the description unlike Apple? How often do you recommend to use keywords? Does the position in the description matter? So the position, like if you have it in your short description, obviously it's important. But like, again, having a keyword density around like 1%. So what that means is out of like the entire description, 1% of the description should be that keyword. So having like around 0.7 to like 1.2 is a sweet spot according to our findings, but maybe someone else will, will disagree. I'm happy to hear like if anyone has comments on this. And another question is, okay, we answered that. It's the one about special characters.
Okay, we just got a new question from Brooke.
Many sources say that we should not use the same keyword twice, but if one keyword might or would work best if combined with two others. So assuming you're speaking about the Apple App Store, so let's say you have tower, and you also found like tower defense and I don't know, tower gate, you want to rank for these keywords. If you have tower, and then let's say you have tower in your app title, and then you have defense in your subtitle, let's say, and then you have gate in your keyword spot, you'll already rank for the combinations of them. So still, it's not recommended to, target those keywords. Do keyword algorithms consider emojis? Well, honestly, I don't know. I mean,
interesting question.
If I see something with an emoji, I wouldn't download it. So that's my opinion, by the way. But I think they'll get more relevant. But I don't have any solid answers about this. It's a good research topic for me.
I guess we've answered everyone's questions.
Yeah, so this is like a last call. Last 1 minute. Okay, Alicia. Yeah.
Okay, some final questions. Do you feel that you need to pay for Apple search ads to improve ASO, or did your research find that this isn't necessary?
So other than the double visibility, Apple search ads brings you organic traffic. So the users that behave like users that come from ASO, but so they spend a lot, so you can track how well these users spend. Actually, we will have a search ads webinar next week. We haven't announced it yet, so you guys are the first to hear it. It will be announced today. But in terms of rankings, other than the double visibility thing, so the temporary rankings, we found out that it doesn't have a long-lasting effect on your ASO. And Brooke is asking, you mentioned earlier that we also need to test a combination of keywords. Do you mean you are arranging your existing keywords or adding the new ones for new combinations? So again, let's go with the example we had. So let's assume you had defense in your metadata already, and then you added tower. So what I tried to meant is that you should also track your rankings on tower defense. Yeah, thank you for coming, Alicia. So yeah, I think we're running out of time. So if you guys have a couple more minutes, we have a poll that, we want to see how you view this webinar because we're so excited about this. We want to do more. So your feedbacks are very welcome. Let me just start it. So if you have 1 minute, 2 minutes, it will be good, to see.
Yeah, appreciate your feedback and input.
Yeah, but if you don't have time, it's okay. It's definitely okay. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for our other ones. No, it's not, Vadim. You shouldn't. So he's asking, is it okay to add the dot in the app title in a keyword because they might have different search scores, but the algorithm actually ranks you for the typos, the singulars, the plural versions. It also occasionally ranks you for the dots. So save your character limits and don't waste it on dots. Okay, let's keep the poll going a couple more minutes.
We'll keep it open for another minute or so. So if you guys have any final questions you'd like to shoot, you can.
You're welcome, Vadim.
Write in the chat.
Yeah, I'll add you as well. It's good to start some dialogue here.
I think that's it, Shahrukh. If you filled in the poll, thank you for coming.
Yeah, and stay tuned for our next webinars.
Yeah.
And thank you all for joining today. Yeah, you're welcome, Kate.
You're welcome. Thanks, Naveed. Thank you, Oliver.
Yeah.
We appreciate all you guys coming and taking time out of your day to attend this webinar.
Yeah, thank you for your time, all of you.
Hopefully it was.
And
hopefully
hopefully it helped you some and
took something away.
And then, you know, based on your feedbacks, we'll do better next time, and we'll also decide on which topic we're gonna run, and other than the search ads workshop. So stay tuned. Okay, take care, everyone. Let's call it today.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you for your feedback. Take care.
Have a nice day, evening.
Bye-bye.